At 68 degrees below zero, the air doesn't just freeze your skin, it freezes your breath before it even leaves your lips. Out here in Yakutia, in one of the coldest inhabited places on Earth, survival is not a skill.
The snow is deep.
It's a daily
Yes,
fight.
grandfather, I am
In a remote
steady.
valley where no road reaches,
The
an
reindeer wait
89-year-old
for
man
us.
named
They
Semyon
look strong.
lives alone in a small wooden cabin. This land has been his entire world. Every winter, every storm, he has endured them all. But this year is different. 2 weeks ago, his 10-year-old grandson, Kolya, arrived from the city, sent to stay with him after a family loss. The boy has never experienced cold like this. Not the kind that burns your lungs or freezes tears on your face. Behind the cabin stands a corral of 23 reindeer. They are not just animals. They are life itself. Food, clothing, survival. Losing them would mean facing the Arctic winter with nothing. One evening, as darkness settles over the frozen valley, Semyon suddenly stops. He listens. From the distant forest comes a low, haunting sound. Wolves. By morning, their tracks surround the corral, large, organized. A pack has been watching, waiting. And then, the sky begins to change. Semyon sees the storm before it arrives. A pale haze creeping across the horizon. The air tightening. The silence deepening. Inside the cabin, he prepares quickly, stacking firewood, melting snow for water. He knows what's coming. The storm doesn't build slowly. It hits like a wall. Wind roars. Snow blinds everything. The temperature plunges to minus 68. The world outside disappears. Hours pass. Then, in the middle of the night, panic erupts. The reindeer are screaming. Semyon moves instantly. Layer by layer he prepares, then opens the door and vanishes into the storm. Outside, there is no visibility, no direction, only memory. He follows a rope he placed years ago, step by step through the white void. At the corral, the gate is open, not broken, lifted. Inside, the herd is pressed together in terror. And in the shadows, wolves. Semyon does not run. He raises his lantern slowly, stands his ground, and faces them. For a long moment, nothing moves. Then, the wolves retreat into the storm. The 3 reindeer are gone. Back in the cabin, Kolya waits, alone, listening to the wind, the howls, the silence between them. Then he makes a decision. He steps outside. The cold hits like a physical force. His breath vanishes. His skin begins to freeze, but he grabs the guide rope and moves forward, calling into the storm. When he reaches the corral, Semyon sees the frost forming on the boy's face. There is no anger, only urgency. They tie themselves together with a rope, and together, they head into the forest. The storm still rages, but beneath the trees, shapes begin to form. Tracks, faint, fading. They follow. The first reindeer is found barely alive, frozen against a tree. Semyon works quickly, warming it, forcing it to stand. Then, a new presence. A massive moose appears in the storm. They freeze completely. No sound, no movement. After a long, tense moment, it turns and disappears. But the danger isn't over. The wolves return. Shadows move at the edge of the lantern light, circling. Kolya begins striking metal against wood, again and again. The sound echoes through the forest. Semyon shouts. The wolves hesitate. It's
Easy
enough.
now, breathe.
They find the second
Is it
reindeer.
working?
Then the third,
Yes, its
trapped
breathing
in
is
frozen
steadier.
water.
Keep pulling.
Without hesitation, Semyon
It's
steps
lifting
into
its
the ice,
head.
pulling it
That's a
free
good
with
boy.
numb hands. Now they must return. The journey back is harder. Semyon's boots are soaked. At this temperature, that can be fatal, but he keeps moving. The boy beside him refuses to stop, gripping the ropes, making noise, staying close. The wolves follow, always just beyond the light. And then, through the storm, a faint glow appears. The cabin. They reach it. One by one, the reindeer are secured, the gate reinforced. 23, all alive. The wolves linger for a moment, then disappear into the forest. Inside,
Come
warmth
on,
returns
Jack!
slowly. Pain follows. Frozen hands begin to burn. Semyon carefully warms his feet. Kolya
Almost
feeds the fire,
there!
melts snow, makes tea. They sit in silence. Outside, the storm fades. By morning, the world is still, silent, endless. They step outside together and count again. 23, everyone. In a place where nature shows no mercy. Survival is not just strength, it is knowledge, patience, and sometimes the courage to step into the storm when everything tells you not to. Because out here, the wolves will always return.